How Brad and Angelina are using intra-family loans to manage their divorce. Breaking up is hard to do, and apparently that is the case with Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. In the 2 years since their split, a heavy drama has played out in the press. Amidst their recent public skirmishes, an interesting fact appeared. Pitt had made a loan to Jolie for $8 million to buy a home after their separation. In fact, Jolie's attorney, Samantha Bladagine, told People magazine in regard to the loan that Brad was asked to assist in the expense of a new home for Angelina and their 6 children, but instead he loaned Angelina money, for which he is charging her interest on a payment plan. While it might seem that Pitt is being cold to his soon-to-be ex and their 6 children, the loan was actually a clever financial planning strategy. In Pitt's case, the use of an intra-family loan is helpful when navigating a divorce proceeding. Since there is not yet a divorce settlement, he needs to be careful about making any unintended gifts to his soon-to-be ex-wife. A properly structured loan can be a powerful tool to maintain control over the use of the proceeds. It may also be a way to fund a business transaction or a marital dissolution, says Glenn Christophides, a New York and New Jersey tax and estate attorney who is not advising Pitt or Jolie. In Pitt's case, helping Jolie buy a house through the use of a loan maintains clarity during a divorce proceeding. In the world of tax planning, intra-family or below-market loans are fairly common to help family members buy a home or to provide liquidity in estate planning. But before going down the path, it is key to understand all the risks involved. The fundamentals of below-market loans. Regardless of the reason for a below-market loan, it must always be based on good faith. In Pitt's case, he is merely trying to keep his family in a home appropriate for their situation. When structuring the loan, basic loan requirements must be met to ensure the loan is not seen as a gift. The IRS will look at various factors, including whether there is a signed written loan agreement with a fixed repayment schedule and a stated interest rate. Further, the loan holder must report the payments on their tax return. In the event the loan was secured against real property, the payer may even be able to deduct it as mortgage interest up to the legal limit. The emphasis on correct documentation and structure is important and should be done in coordination with an attorney and CPA. As Christophides notes, if these aspects of the transaction are not properly addressed, an intended lender can find himself with a non-collectible debt. Further, setting an interest rate is not a random decision. Below market in the tax context means an interest rate below a statutory rate called the applicable federal rate, AFR. The AFR has historically been lower than commercial rates, currently less than 3%. It's easy to have a loan that is below market in the common sense but still not below market in the legal sense, explains Christophides. The AFR rates, released monthly by the IRS, are dependent upon whether the loan is short-term, 3 years or less, mid-term, 3 to 9 years, or long-term, more than 9 years. In the Pitt-Jolie situation, it appears these requirements have easily been met, as Pitt is charging Jolie interest and requiring a payment plan. While the loan amount is large, given the fact that it is likely a short-term loan, Pitt probably used a short-term AFR rate. And if it was secured against the home, Jolie may be able to deduct a portion of the interest. For high-net-worth individuals like Pitt and Jolie, a loan structured incorrectly can hurt them. As Christophides points out, if the parties aren't aware of the issues and structure a loan with a rate below the AFR, there can be unintended consequences for the lender. These include imputed income and gifts for federal tax purposes. A useful tool for many. While Pitt and Jolie's divorce may not be proceeding smoothly, their financial planning around it is being done correctly as they navigate settlement issues. The loan will likely be addressed in the final divorce decree. As for the rest of us, a below-market loan between family members might be something we consider not only in divorce situations. For instance, in some of the most highly inflated real estate markets in the United States, parents and grandparents might use below-market loans to help their children get into a market that otherwise could be challenging. Or they can be used within a family to provide student loan help versus using private lenders. Regardless, the intra-family loan is a valuable technique for helping family members financially, provided you have a knowledgeable attorney and CPA to properly take you through the process.